it's Chelsea Boy, and today I will be doing my first official YouTube video. Let's get into it. The first question is from Pets Angel. I hope I'm pronouncing this right. What is the story of the name Chelsea Boy? Why did you choose this? My name Chelsea Boy hasn't always been that way. My name started off being Chelsea Brandy. I was a female impersonator. At one point, I didn't like the female impersonation as much anymore. And I just wanted to try something else. So I decided to switch up the name. So the name Chelsea Boy, it comes from a comic book from the 90s, which is about three gay men living in Chelsea, Manhattan, New York. Also, what I really like about the name is that Chelsea is generally perceived to be a feminine name, whereas boy obviously stands for something more masculine. So I really thought it would be cute to mix those two up to get, Chelsea Boy, which is fluid, which touches both genders and everything in between. So that's why I chose the name. Another question by Nina, Pets Angel. How did your parents react when you started doing drag? For them, it was something completely new. They didn't know what drag is about. And along the way, I tried and show what I do and what drag is about. And they kind of warmed up to it. And nowadays, they are standing fully behind me. They celebrate my drag together with me, which I'm really grateful for. So yeah. The next question is from Age of Scarlet. Do you pretend to learn Portuguese, like doing some classes or something like that? Now, I first learned a little bit of Portuguese from my dear friend Renato. And yeah, through time, I traveled to Lisbon a couple of times and I really love the language. There's such a nice sound to it. And I love learning new languages altogether. Yeah, I decided to go online, take some courses, and being on Twitter with a lot of Brazilian people also taught me already so many new words. So I'll just keep on learning. The next question is by Age of Scarlet. What's your biggest dream? Now, wow, my biggest dream would be to travel the world, to perform in as many places as possible, and to be spending so many events with people around the world that appreciate what I do. This can be a way to interact and to learn, and this would be super exciting for me to happen. So let's hope that Miss Rona takes a holiday real quick so we can start realizing that that would be everything. The next question is from Scaredy Jinx. Do you have any irrational fear? If you have, what's the reaction you usually get from people when or if you tell them about it? I think my biggest irrational fear is not living up to my own full potential. You want to make the best of this life, and sometimes you feel like you're not doing enough, you're being too lazy, or you're not trying hard enough, you're not being efficient enough, which makes you feel like you're stopping yourself from reaching your goals, when in fact you're just human, and any human has ups and downs, and this goes back and forth. So for me, I think not being too hard on myself in this case really helps me to be more successful. Fleurs Dobrev asks, if you didn't work with drag, what would you work with? I think it would be definitely something artistic still. It would be something in line with photography, with fashion, with makeup. So basically every aspect that you see in drag, things that I love to do. I love to sing and dance. I love to do photography, fashion, all of those things. I can put all those different disciplines on one pile and have a party. Another question from Fleurs Dobrev is, what is your favorite food? My favorite food is corn. Get me corn, I will marry you, honey. Get me corn, send it over, put it in a package, drop ship it, put a track and trace on it. I'm all yours. Corn. The next question is from Lane Joyce. How is your relationship with Abby? Hashtag shabby. I love Abby. I've known Abby for I think around 4 or 5 years now, and we've been working together a lot on many different festivals. Always having a good time. We complement each other really well, and I really loved seeing her on the show. The next question is from Rebecca Azuart. When did you start doing makeup? Now, I think I started drag when I was around 18, 19 years old. And I think I started playing with makeup. I think my first item of makeup was this like Maybelline pump. And I remember that I think I was 14, 15 years old. I bought that bottle and I put it on. I thought I looked fabulous. When I look back at it and I see photos, I looked orange as hell. Like Donald Trump orange. I thought it looked cute. It smelled nice, I guess, but that was a mess. So another question from Rebecca Azuard. Who is your favorite queen? There's so many different amazing fierce queens, and honestly, I must tell you, each of those queens inspire me in a different way. You know, I take hints of fashion from one, I take hints of comedy from another. To answer your question, I think I'm going to keep it very close to home, and I'm going to say my drag mother. Her name is Snorelave WC, which translates to Mustachela WC. She hasn't taught me particularly a lot about makeup, but she truly is someone that can teach you how to navigate through life, how to take out the best in you, how to celebrate your strengths, work on your weaknesses. So she's been a big example in my drag career and as a friend as well. The next question is from Adore B Heights. How do you see the drag art today? And how do you want to see it in a few years? First of all, great question. I am the type of person that really wants to celebrate all types of drag, and I don't think there's any right or wrong in whatever style of drag you do. It doesn't matter what gender you have, it doesn't matter what style you like, it doesn't matter if you are a female impersonator or a male impersonator, or you're a gender hybrid, or you're an alien, or you're a clown, or it really doesn't matter. Like, that's how I see drag. And I think the more that it would develop that way, the better we are off as a drag community. Absolutely. When everybody sees different types of drag as they are and has mutual respect. Valentina Xmp asks, what's something you've tried that you'll never ever try again? Pineapple pizza! Nope. If you're on the pineapple pizza team, If you want to make me happy, you know you should bring on a broccoli pizza. I know it sounds insane. A broccoli, spinach, green pizza, garden party. You'll have me right there. Roxanne Marks asks, when you started doing drag, did you have a drag mom? When I started off, I did have a drag mom from a cafe from my hometown. And she basically put me in my first wig, my first heels, and together with somebody else, they put me in lipstick and eyeliner. And believe it or not, I was about 16 years old and I looked like a girl. Like, everybody kept on saying I looked like Kelly Bundy from what's the show again?
I'm sorry, I don't know.
You don't know? Is that not your generation? Well, I think it's married. I think it's Married with Children. Anyway, so everybody kept saying I look like her, and yeah, she put me in drag the first time, and maybe 1 year later again. And then in the meantime, I started, experimenting and developing my own drag style. Most of the years I did drag, everything I thought was self-taught. Oh my God, Valentina Xmp, you get so many questions, but this is a really good one. I want to answer this one. What superpowers would you like to have? I would love to have the superpower to, by laying my hand on someone's heart, heal their trauma, which can get them to flourish in their own being and celebrate every aspect of themselves without any fear, any hate towards themselves. So if I can accomplish people to love every bit of themselves, I would be the happiest person in the world. This question is from Alejandro Aguilera. I love that name. What inspired you to do drag? What advice do you give to the new generations of drag? Kisses, I love you, from Chiapas, Mexico. Thank you so much for your question and reaching out. My advice to the new generation of drag would be stay true to who you are and what kind of drag you want to do, and don't let anybody put you in a box. Don't let anybody tell you that what you do isn't drag enough, or that what you do paints outside the lines of drag. Color with all crayons in the box. So keep on saying nay to the naysayers and keep on saying yes to the world of drag and what you love to do most. So a very funny question from Scaredy Jinx: pro geese or anti geese? With this like hysterical picture of a goose. I will be very honest, I am scared of geese. Honestly, they scare the shit out of me. When I was younger, I had this little moment with my grandma who couldn't walk that well. We were feeding the geese, and at one point we wanted to leave, and they came after us because we still had some bread left. And I remember my grandma almost fell because we were like rushing away from them. They were like screaming at us. So yeah, I'm always a little bit scared. The next question is from Aisha XX99. How do you deal with toxic or negative people in your life? Plain and simple, girl. I don't. Alright everyone, thank you so much for all of your questions. I loved answering them. I hope you got to know me a little bit better. If you want to see more content from me in the future, please hit the subscribe button and you'll be hearing from me soon. Mwah!